everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tom and Ben News. It's been a while since our last episode, which was pretty weird, but it's so good to be back.
Indeed, it does feel good to be back. Our showrunner had to take a break and put our show on hold for a while. And now that he's back and ready, we are also back and ready to give you the latest news that has been happening the past weeks. Let's take a look at them, shall we?
Venezuela continues to recover after two devastating earthquakes struck the country, leaving widespread destruction and rescue crews racing to find survivors.
Following up that story, countries from around the world are joining the humanitarian response, sending emergency teams, medical supplies, and vital aid to help those affected by the disaster.
Scientists are celebrating a remarkable breakthrough after NASA's satellites captured rare data from a tsunami, providing researchers with valuable information that could improve our understanding of these powerful natural events.
And Europe is facing an intense early summer heat wave with dangerously high temperatures prompting health warnings as millions of people brace for extreme conditions.
And those are the top stories that we have today. There also could be a random story that would come up, so we are gonna have our eyes peeled for that. But without further ado, let's get to it!
And now, this is Tom and Ben News, hosted by Tom and Ben.
Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is a disaster that has happened recently. Last week on June 24th, Venezuela had a horrific earthquake that has killed and injured a lot of lives.
The disaster has caused widespread destruction across several cities, leaving thousands of people injured or displaced as emergency crews race against time to search for survivors beneath collapsed buildings. Take a look.
Venezuela is facing one of the worst natural disasters in its modern history, following two powerful earthquakes that struck the country's north-central region. On June 24th, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake was followed just 39 seconds later by an even stronger 7.5 earthquake. The shallow depth of both quakes made the shaking especially destructive, with the effects felt across much of the country and even in neighboring nations. The hardest hit areas include the coastal state of La Guaira, along with parts of the capital, Caracas, where homes, apartment buildings, hospitals, and public infrastructure suffered extensive damage. Within hours, the Venezuelan government declared a national state of emergency as rescue operations began across the affected region.
The government decided to close the streets, making it harder to bring help.
Emergency workers, firefighters, police officers, and volunteers immediately started searching through collapsed buildings, hoping to locate any survivors trapped beneath the rubble. Officials now report more than 1,700 people were killed and 5,000 people were injured, and tens of thousands still unaccounted for or displaced from their homes. Authorities caution that these figures may continue to change as search teams reach previously inaccessible areas. The earthquakes have also caused major disruptions to everyday life. Power outages, damaged roads, interruptions to water supplies, and communication networks have made rescue operations even more challenging. Hundreds of buildings have either collapsed completely or suffered severe structural damage, forcing many families to sleep outdoors or in temporary emergency shelters due to fears of further aftershocks. Although smaller than the initial earthquakes, these aftershocks have repeatedly forced rescue teams to pause operations while damaged buildings are reassessed for safety. They have also added to the anxiety of residents already coping with the devastation. Disasters of this magnitude often present challenges that extend well beyond the initial emergency. Experts say rebuilding damaged communities, restoring infrastructure, and supporting displaced families could take months or even years, depending on the extent of the damage. For now, rescue teams remain focused on searching every possible location, while families continue hoping for news of missing loved ones. As recovery efforts continue, people across Venezuela and around the world are standing in solidarity with those affected by this tragic disaster.
Now, following up that story, attention is now turning to the massive humanitarian effort underway both inside and outside the country as it continues recovering from the earthquakes.
Rescue teams, medical workers, and aid organizations from around the world have been arriving to help search for survivors, provide emergency medical care, and deliver much-needed supplies to affected communities. Let's take a look at this.
In the days following Venezuela's devastating twin earthquakes, a large international humanitarian response has quickly taken shape. As emergency crews continue searching through damaged buildings, countries and humanitarian organizations from across the globe have stepped forward to assist with one of the country's largest disaster relief efforts in recent history. More than 30 countries have pledged support, sending urban search and rescue specialists, doctors, engineers, emergency medical teams, search dogs, and relief supplies to Venezuela. Aircraft carrying food, clean drinking water, medical equipment, temporary shelters, and generators have been arriving at airports around the country. International organizations, including agencies from the United Nations, the Pan American Health Organization, UNICEF, and the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, have also expanded their operations to support the emergency response. Their work includes helping provide healthcare, clean water, sanitation, emergency shelter, and protection for families who have lost their homes. The European Union has activated its civil protection mechanism, allowing several European countries to coordinate rescue personnel and specialist equipment for deployment to Venezuela. Nations including Spain, France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, and the Netherlands have contributed emergency assistance as part of the international effort. Meanwhile, countries throughout the Americas have also announced aid packages, while governments in North America, Latin America, and other regions continue providing financial assistance, medical supplies, and logistical support to help relief operations on the ground. Venezuelan communities living overseas have organized donation drives, collecting food, clothing, baby supplies, and many more to send to those affected. Volunteers have transformed community centers, churches, and local businesses into collection points, demonstrating how ordinary people can play an important role during times of crisis. While the immediate focus remains on saving lives, attention is also beginning to shift toward long-term recovery. Humanitarian agencies say continued international support will be essential as Venezuela begins the long process of recovery. For now, the response serves as a reminder that when disasters strike, cooperation between countries, organizations, and local communities can make a meaningful difference in helping those most in need.
Now, if news like this upsets you or causes you to have any distress, please reach out for help and talk to someone about it. It's also encouraging to see so many countries and organizations coming together to help during such a difficult time.
Yeah, moments like these remind us that even when the news is heartbreaking, people around the world are still willing to lend a hand. Alright, now time for something a little less serious and significantly more fluffy.
A supermarket in Germany was recently thrown into complete chaos after around 50 sheep wandered inside the store. Yes, actual sheep, just casually walking to the supermarket like they were doing their weekly shopping.
According to reports, the sheep somehow escaped from a nearby field before making their way directly into the store, which honestly raises an important question. How did not one sheep stop and think, guys, I don't think we're supposed to be here?
Actually that's a fair point. And to make this more insane, customers reportedly climbed onto checkout counters while the sheep ran through the aisles knocking over products and bottles.
Imagine just trying to buy groceries and suddenly there's a sheep sprinting past the frozen food section. That sounds less stressful than regular grocery shopping these days, if I'm being honest.
Well, authorities and staff eventually managed to guide the sheep safely back outside, and thankfully nobody was injured. The vegetables, however, probably didn't survive.
Yeah, somewhere out there is one sheep that had the greatest day of its life. Free entry, unlimited snacks. Honestly, they were living a dream. Alright, we're gonna move on now to the weather report. Here's Ginger to give you the latest forecast. Thank you, Tom and Ben, and hello to all of you. Hope you're having a great Saturday. And today, of course, is a good day to look at the weather that's going to be happening today and in the next few days. So let's get to it, starting off in Australia. Sydney looks like is in for a mixed week. Today looks pleasant with plenty of sunshine and a cool 17 degrees. But tomorrow, however, the weather changes quickly, with showers returning and temperatures dropping to around 14 degrees. Rain continues into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with daytime highs between 15 and 16 degrees. So if you're heading out during the start of the new week, it's a good idea to keep an umbrella nearby. Melbourne is also expecting a fairly wet weekend. Today remains mostly cloudy with a high of around 11 degrees, but showers are expected tomorrow before conditions improve on Monday, bringing some welcome sunshine and a top of 14 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday then become partly cloudy with temperatures remaining steady at around 14 degrees, making for a cool but more comfortable middle of the week. Brisbane enjoys the best weather across Australia's east coast this weekend. Today will be sunny with a pleasant high of 21 degrees, but a few showers move through tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, but temperatures stay comfortable at around 19 degrees. By Wednesday, however, sunshine returns with a high of 19 degrees, making for a pleasant finish to the forecast. Alright, now it's time to move on to the United States, starting off with New York and New Jersey. It looks like another hot week is on the way for the Northeast. Today, New York reaches 33 degrees, while neighboring New Jersey climbs to around 37 degrees with a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Tomorrow will remain very warm, with highs around 31 degrees in New York and 35 degrees across New Jersey. However, on Monday, thunderstorms return before conditions begin improving through Tuesday, but by Wednesday, sunshine returns, although it will still be warm with temperatures around 26 degrees in New York and 28 degrees in New Jersey. Anyone spending time outdoors should stay hydrated, especially during the hottest part of the day. Los Angeles is looking fantastic. Sunny skies are expected throughout the entire forecast period from today through Wednesday. Daytime temperatures stay remarkably consistent between 27 and 28 degrees, making for ideal weather across Southern California. If you're lucky enough to be there, it's another beautiful week ahead. And finally, Chicago starts the weekend warm but unsettled. Today brings scattered showers with a high of 32 degrees, but tomorrow cools slightly to around 27 degrees with more showers possible. Monday stays partly cloudy before another chance of rain develops on Tuesday. And by Wednesday, skies become partly sunny once again with temperatures reaching around 28 degrees, ending the week on a brighter note. And that's the weather forecast we have today. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Now back to you, Tom and Ben. Thank you for the forecast, Ginger, and we will try to stay safe. Alright everyone, we're now going to be taking a break. Coming up next is our third top story about NASA's satellites capturing rare data from a tsunami, and our final top story of Europe facing an intense early summer heat wave.
And Tyler joins us with all the latest from the world of sports, and Paul the Panda makes his debut with the latest entertainment and pop culture headlines.
In the meantime, we're going to be having our snacks and probably going to the bathroom. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Our next top story takes us into the world of science, where researchers are celebrating a remarkable breakthrough involving one of NASA's newest satellites.
For the very first time, scientists have captured an incredibly detailed view of a giant tsunami from space, providing information that could help improve tsunami forecasting and potentially save lives in the future. Take a closer look at the story.
Scientists have announced a major breakthrough in tsunami research after NASA's Surface Water and Ocean Topography, or SWOT, satellite captured one of the most detailed observations ever recorded of a giant tsunami traveling across the Pacific Ocean. The tsunami was triggered by a powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula in July of last year. While tsunami warning systems quickly alerted countries around the Pacific, the event also created a rare scientific opportunity. By chance, the SWOT satellite happened to pass directly over part of the tsunami as it traveled across the ocean. Unlike traditional monitoring systems, which measures the height of tsunami waves only at specific locations using deep ocean buoys, the SWOT satellite was able to observe a broad section of the ocean's surface all at once. This allowed scientists to see how the tsunami behaved over hundreds of kilometers, providing an entirely new perspective on how these enormous waves move through the open ocean. One of the biggest surprises came from the way the tsunami traveled. Researchers had expected the wave to move as relatively simple front across the Pacific. Instead, the satellite revealed a far more complex pattern, with multiple smaller waves spreading, interacting and scattering energy across the ocean in ways that had never been observed so clearly before. Scientists combined the satellite observations with information from the International DART network of tsunami detection buoys. Together, the two systems gave researchers an unprecedented look at the tsunami's size, shape, and movement, allowing them to compare real-world observations with existing computer forecast models. By better understanding how tsunami waves behave in deep water, scientists hope to produce more accurate forecasts in the future, giving emergency agencies greater confidence when issuing tsunami warnings to coastal communities. Although tsunamis remain impossible to prevent, improvements in forecasting technology can provide valuable extra time for evacuations and emergency planning. NASA says missions like SWOT demonstrate how satellites are designed to study Earth's oceans can also play an important role in disaster science, helping researchers better understand some of our planet's most powerful natural events. For scientists, it's a reminder that sometimes the biggest discoveries happen when advanced technology is in the exact right place at the exact right time.
Wow, it's amazing how much we can learn simply by looking at Earth from space.
Absolutely. If discoveries like this help improve tsunami warnings even a little, they could make a real difference for people living along coastlines. Now we're going to check some sports highlights. Here is Tyler with the latest sports news. Go ahead, Tyler.
Thank you, Tom and Ben, and hello again, sports nerds. It has been a while since the last time we have done sports highlights, but now we are finally back at it. Without further ado, let's get to it. The biggest sporting event on the planet continues to deliver drama as the 2026 FIFA World Cup heads toward the knockout stage. One of the most talked about matches saw Iran draw 1-1 with Egypt in a tense Group G encounter. Iran equalized shortly after Egypt's opener and thought they had scored a dramatic stoppage time winner, only for the goal to be ruled out for offside after a VAR review. The result leaves Iran waiting to find out whether they will qualify as one of the tournament's best third-place teams. Elsewhere at the World Cup, the group stage is wrapping up as teams battle for the remaining places in the round of 32. Today's fixtures feature several football powerhouses, including England, Argentina, and Portugal, all looking to finish their groups strongly before the tournament moves into its knockout routes. And finally, over in the NHL, excitement continues to build as the 2026 Stanley Cup Final reaches its closing stages. The Championship Series has delivered plenty of close contests, with fans eagerly watching to see who will lift one of ice hockey's most prestigious trophies. And those are the highlights we have so far of this week's sports highlights. There are more to come in the coming weeks, but for now, that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Now back to you guys.
Thank you, Tyler, and boy, I can't wait to get home to continue watching the World Cup.
Same goes for me, but for now, let's do today's show and we'll get to it afterwards. So let's move on to our final top story of the day. Our final top story tonight takes us to Europe, where millions of people are experiencing one of the most intense early summer heat waves ever recorded.
Temperatures have climbed well above 40 degrees Celsius in several countries, prompting health warnings, disrupting transport, and placing pressure on emergency services across the continent. Here's the latest.
Large parts of Europe are enduring a dangerous early summer heat wave, with temperatures reaching record-breaking levels across central, eastern, and southern parts of the continent. Meteorologists say a large area of high pressure, often referred to as a heat dome, has trapped extremely hot air over Europe, allowing temperatures to climb well above seasonal averages. In several locations, temperatures have exceeded 40 degrees Celsius, with some countries setting new national June temperature records.
I love the sunshine, but for many people it's an absolute nightmare.
Countries including Hungary, Slovakia, Romania, and parts of Germany have issued red or high-level heat warnings as authorities urge people to remain indoors during the hottest hours of the day whenever possible. The extreme temperatures are affecting more than just daily life. Hospitals have reported increased numbers of heat-related illnesses, including dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Governments have opened cooling centers, extended public health alerts, and encouraged people to drink plenty of water while checking on elderly neighbors, young children, and anyone with existing medical conditions. The heat has also disrupted infrastructure. In some cities, railway tracks and tram lines have warped under the extreme temperatures, while road surfaces have softened and buckled. Several regions have also experienced power systems under increased pressure as electricity demand rises due to cooling needs. Firefighters across parts of southern Europe have also been responding to an increased risk of wildfires. Dry vegetation, strong sunshine, and hot winds have created conditions that allow fires to spread rapidly, particularly in parts of Croatia and the Balkans, where emergency crews remain on high alert. The World Health Organization has described Europe as the world's fastest warming continent and warned that extreme heat is becoming one of the region's most significant public health risks. Officials say future heat waves are likely to become more frequent and more intense as global temperatures continue to rise. Climate scientists stress that while individual weather events are influenced by many factors, long-term warming has increased both the likelihood and intensity of extreme heat events. They say improving early warning systems, expanding cooling infrastructure, and continuing efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions will all play important roles in helping communities adapt to future heat waves. For now, officials across Europe continue encouraging residents to take sensible precautions as the hot conditions persist.
Yeesh, I couldn't imagine being there and just feel like you're gonna melt in 5 seconds. I think this must be the hottest topic we've ever covered.
Oh, what, you need some help, Ben? Don't worry, I got some water for you. Well, hopefully cooler weather arrives there soon, and everyone stays safe in the meantime. But anyway, now to finish our broadcast of the day, let's move on to Paul giving you the latest entertainment news. Take it away, Paul.
Thank you, and hey everybody, hope you're having a great Saturday. We are now going to take a look at what's been happening in the world of entertainment. The mystery continues as Millie Bobby Brown returns as the famous young detective in Enola Holmes 3, which has now premiered on Netflix. This time, Enola travels to Malta as she prepares to marry Tewkesbury, but her wedding plans are interrupted when her brother Sherlock Holmes, played once again by Henry Cavill, is kidnapped. The third film promises more mystery, action, and adventure while introducing a darker, more mature story than the previous two movies. Over on television, fans are saying goodbye to one of the most acclaimed dramas of recent years. The Bear has returned with its final season, bringing the story of Carmi and his restaurateur to its conclusion. The award-winning series has earned praise for its performances, emotional storytelling, and realistic look at life inside a professional kitchen. Nintendo fans have something exciting to look forward to. Rhythm Heaven Groove has launched for the Nintendo Switch, marking the first brand new game in the beloved Rhythm series in more than a decade. The game features dozens of quirky rhythm minigames, brand new music, and local multiplayer, bringing back one of Nintendo's most unique and charming franchises. And finally, Apple says it's continuing to expand its investment in movies and television. Following the success of recent productions, the company plans to develop even more original films and TV series for audiences around the world as it continues to grow its entertainment business. Industry analysts say Apple is aiming to become an even bigger player in the streaming and film industry over the coming years. And there you have it. That's all the entertainment news we have. Keep yourself entertained, and I'll see you guys next time. And with that, back to you, Tom and Ben.
Thank you, Paul. We will definitely keep ourselves entertained in the meantime. Well, everyone, that's all the news we got for you today. There are more to come in the coming week.
Indeed there are. Real interesting news and even weird ones if possible. Make sure you stay safe, stay informed.
And we will see you all next time. Good night.
Hey Tom, I got something for you.
Ow! What the heck was that for, you mutt?
What did you just call me?
Your mother?
Whee!